Hello everyone and welcome to This Day. Today is Wednesday, December 27th, and I'm Bobby Higgins. Coming up on the show, we have Sterling Financial Advisors. If your investment has lost its value, well, it might not be all bad. Dan Allweiler is here to tell us about tax loss harvesting. And after that, we have Marcella and Marina here with the Laguna International Dancers, and they are passionate about international folk dancing. If you've ever been interested in this club, then you'll definitely want to check out their fun event they're having on New Year's Eve. And that brings us to today's Stay Informed. We have special New Year's movies here on Village Television. On New Year's Eve at 8 p.m. is Pink Panther. On New Year's Day at 8:30 a.m. is The Polar Express. And at 11 a.m. is After the Wedding. And lastly, at 8 p.m. is Age of Adeline. Happy New Year, and we hope you enjoy these special presentations. And now let's take a look at the weather, and we're going to see some beautiful California scenery in the background. Today, it is mostly cloudy, with a high of 65 and a low of 50. Tomorrow, a little bit of sun will be peeking through, partly sunny. And on Friday, we may have some showers, high of 63 and low of 51. On Saturday, the rain may continue early in the morning, but then by Sunday, the rain will clear out and it'll be partly sunny with a high of 64 and a low of 46. And now let's take a look at the sunrise and sunset. Here's just a great shot from Laguna Beach and the bluff. This brought to us by Ben Givens. And your sunrise is at 6:54 a.m. this morning, and your sunset is at 4:50 p.m. tonight. If you'd like to have your photos featured here on This Day, please send them to us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Stay with us. We have Sterling Financial Advisors coming up right after the break. But first, let's take a look at today's meetings.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now from Sterling Financial Advisors is Dan Allweiler. Dan, it's so nice to meet you.
Bobby, good to be here.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, as you as well.
Good to be
any
here.
Plans for the holiday?
We stick around. We've got 2 or 3 kids here in the Saddleback Valley area, and so they come over for Christmas Eve, and we do the Santa Claus thing, and have
nice.
a good time. So they're getting, the older their kids get, they try to establish their own traditions, but
right.
As grandparents, we get to come in after all the presents are opened and
after all the chaos.
But we have a good time.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, yeah, I remember when we were finally in my family, kind of like, yeah, we don't want to come to Grandma and Grandpa's house anymore. We want you to come to our house.
Establish your own traditions, which is a good thing. That's a good thing to do. So
Dan, tell me a little bit about yourself and what's your background?
Well, I've been in this business for about 45 years.
Wow.
Okay, and I started out in the life insurance business back in 1980, which is a long time ago. And I started selling life insurance, and then I got more into financial planning and securities and things along that line, and kind of been doing that for the last 35 years or so.
Okay.
So we've got a good group of clients, and we're not very aggressive. We're not out buying Bitcoin and stuff like that. We're a little bit more conservative because our clients are more in the retired and pre-retired stage of their lives, and so they try to get a little bit more conservative at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Your investment strategy kind of starts to change around
how we invest at age 40 is different than how we should invest at age 65 or 70, you know, because losing money at this stage in our lives affects us much more than making extra money. And so we just tend to take a little bit more conservative approach as we work with our clients.
Why this field? What drew you to want to help people, with their money?
Well, I was in sales. Right out of college, I got a sales position and came to Southern California to basically sell toys. I was a plush animal seller to all gift shops and everything, and they kind of went in a different direction and went away from direct sales and went more to not a salesperson, but a direct sales to the people. So I had to find a job. And so I went out and was interviewing, and I had a friend that says, hey, you may want to sell some life insurance. They'll give you kind of a base salary to work into it. And that's how I had to pay the bills, and so that's what I did. And so it was kind of an evolution over that period of time, going from life insurance into full financial planning.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, it's interesting you talk about the toy business because my father-in-law actually worked with Toys R Us. And
oh wow!
So my husband moved all over the country growing up because his dad was always opening up new Toys R Us stores.
Yeah, we were. It was a little plush animal business that they wanted to get into Southern California, so I was visiting all the Hallmark stores and all the gift shops and everything that might sell plush animals, and that's kind of what I did for probably 18 months, and then they downsized and went direct sales, so I had to find something that will pay the bills.
Yeah.
And luckily, I got into the life insurance business, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Oh, good. So tell me about the topic for today. That you would like to help people with. Sometimes an investment that lost value can still actually do some good.
Well, this is more along the line of what we call tax loss harvesting. At the end of the year, we start thinking about our taxes and everything, and tax loss harvesting is basically selling an asset that hasn't performed very well or has actually lost money in order to generate tax losses for your tax return for this year. This doesn't apply to IRAs or 401ks or anything because that doesn't take into account losses until you take money out. But in the after-tax accounts, brokerage accounts, those types of things, you can maybe sell an asset that's not performing very well or has actually lost money in order to offset any gains from other investments. And so what you're trying to do is you're not selling for income, but you're selling for tax losses to offset other assets that might have done well. And so at the end of the year, I can look at my portfolio and say, hey, these are accounts that I've lost some money on, but here are some other accounts that I've made money on. Maybe I want to take advantage of the growth and offset it with some tax losses. And so tax loss harvesting is more for future things that you might need to offset any gains.
Okay. And so this is something you then take a look at like at the end of the year to
I'm not an accountant and I'm not here to give tax advice by any means, but we do sit down with clients and say, okay, is there something that we can do to maybe offset some of these gains that you have had in other areas? You can only deduct $3,000 of long-term capital gains per year, but you can carry that over from year to year until you use it up. You can use it to offset gains in future years if you need to, and eventually if you use it up, you can say, okay, here's some other losses. You kind of harvest these losses and use them as you need them going forward, so to speak.
That's so interesting, that you can use it indefinitely.
Well, as long as you still have it. Like I say, if I have a $20,000 long-term capital loss, I can only write off $3,000 a year. And so next year I'll have $17,000. The next year I'll have $14,000. You can use that until you use it up, but along the way you can sell other assets, and you kind of do some tax strategy planning using your assets, because last year we had a bad year in the market and people lost money, and maybe they have some assets that don't perform as well. They could sell those to offset gains and other assets, One thing you do need to remember is something called the wash rule, meaning that if you sell an asset at a loss, or let's say a stock or a mutual fund, the IRS says in order to be able to take advantage of that loss, you can't purchase that asset within 30 days. So if let's say, and I'm not saying Google is bad, but if I had a Google stock and it lost money and I sold it, I can't buy Google again for 30 days and have that loss. I can get Amazon, which is another something similar, but I can't get Google. And just because I sell it in my after-tax account, my brokerage account, I can't buy it within my IRA. So if you have possession of that stock within 30 days, it kind of negates the loss you've been able to create.
Okay.
So there's some planning that you need to do in order to do that. If you buy one technology stock and have a loss, you can buy another technology stock similar to that, but you can't get the same asset and have that within 30 days.
Okay. That's definitely good to know, definitely good to look at. Do you need to consider like short-term versus long-term gains and losses?
Well, short-term and long-term gains are treated differently. The short-term gains, that's treated as ordinary income. Long-term gains have a different tax bracket that they're using. 15% generally. I think it's up to $450,000 is 15%, and anything over that, it kind of, there's a sliding scale on that. Again, I'm not an accountant, but I have enough to get me in trouble, you know. But
how do you decide which investments to sell to realize the losses?
Well, a lot of it depends upon what we're trying to do, okay? A lot of times if we're moving into retirement and we've had a lot of gains and we can take advantage of some losses now because the market is down, that would be a good thing to consider. In our strategy, your son or somebody who's 30 years old may want more growth, and somebody my age may want more safety or income. And so it just depends on what we're trying to do as to which assets we want to keep.
Okay.
So it varies with everything that we do, and every person isn't the same. You have to kind of customize your plans and your strategies with every situation. Somebody might have a home that they just sold, a rental property that has long-term capital gains. We could offset some of those gains with these long-term capital losses. So it's just a matter of each individual situation as to which asset you want to keep.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and
Well, it's always good to be here. People don't like to take losses, but it's not always bad to offset gains in other areas, and so you just kind of need to do some planning.
Kind of making lemonade out of lemons, right?
We try. We try.
Well, thank you. So nice to meet you, Dan. If you're interested in getting help with Sterling Financial Advisors, please contact them. They're located nearby here in Mission Viejo. You can give them a call at 949-859-8900 or check them out on their website at sterlingfa.com. Stay with us. We'll have more of This Day right after this.
It's important for you to get your financial house in order. And so it breaks my heart sometimes when I see widows that come in with $100,000, $200,000 to their name, and yet their broker has lost $200,000 or $300,000 in the market when they shouldn't even have been in the market. The most satisfying part that I find in working with retirees is when they come in on their annual reviews and the market has had a bad turn, and we know that we can sit down and look at them and say, you haven't lost any money.
Welcome back to This Day. If you're looking for some fun entertainment on New Year's Eve, then you are in the right place. Joining me now from the Laguna International Dancers Club is Marcella Lawson and Marina Kirch. So nice to meet you, ladies. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
And so, Marcella, tell me, first off, how did you get involved in international folk dance?
Well, I never had a choice. My parents met folk dancing in college way back in the 1950s. And once I came along, I was the fourth of four children, and my family was just dancing every Friday night, and I didn't have any choice. I just had to go along.
How fun. God, what's some great family memories and traditions there.
Yeah.
What do you like about it? What's the best thing about it for you?
Oh my gosh. What I like about it is how it makes me feel. Because what international folk dance is, recreational dance from every country in the world. And so there's a huge variety. Like, there are dances that are energetic and playful and fun, where we shake and smile and laugh at each other. And there are other dances that are slow and soulful and meditative, and you can kind of go in this zen state and just feel the music flow through you and dance. So I think for me, it's that feeling the music in my body and moving with it, and with friends. And looking across the circle or the line and smiling and seeing the other people having fun too. So
wow.
That's what I like about it.
I'm fascinated. I have a dance background, but
Yeah.
I've never done folk dancing, so I'm
you
definitely
should come
fascinated.
to the party.
Absolutely. Now, is there partner dancing too, or is it normally like just done in a big group? Or?
So yeah, I was going to say there are all different kind of formats of the dance as well. There's a closed circle where we're all in a circle, holding hands, or there's maybe what we call an open circle, or we would call a line where there's somebody at the head that's leading it. There's also dances that are maybe done in two lines facing each other. Those are usually called set dances. And then there's also partner dances, which could be individually partners, or what we call mixers, which are partners in a circle where you move people, like one person will move to the next, to the next, to the next.
Kind of how I envision dancing like in the Victorian era.
Yeah, there's definitely some things like that. Yeah.
Marina, tell me, for you, how did you get involved in international folk dancing?
My dancing history started about 25 years ago when I came to America, and I attended service in our temple, and it was dancing, Israeli folk dancing, after the service in the temple. And I participated. I loved it so much. I told my friends. And shortly thereafter, one of my friends said, "Do you know that in Orange County there is Israeli folk dance group?" And I found the information and started dancing with them every week. And at that time, our instructor was very popular Israeli dancer Yoni Kar. And then now we live in Laguna Woods Village for 8 years. I knew from the globe that there is a lot of clubs, including dancing, but I still was dancing with my Israeli folk dance group outside the village, and didn't decide to try. But this year, at the beginning of this year, I decided to try this village international dancers group, and I participated. I fell in love with absolutely beautiful music. Some music touched me so much, I'm almost crying, really.
Oh, wow.
But I have to continue dancing, even if I'm almost crying. Anyway, and I now attend 3 times a week, because we meet 2 times, and another session is on Tuesday morning with Laguna Woods Village International Folk Group Club on Tuesday. So I'm actually dancing 3 times a week, plus with my old Israeli folk dance group outside the village.
Okay. Yeah. So you do that every week as well, too?
Unfortunately, after pandemic, when they resumed dancing, it's only once a month.
Okay.
Once a month.
And when Marina started coming to our group, she had so much enthusiasm. After every dance, she'd go, "Oh, that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite."
I have my A-list of the dances I love the most.
Yeah.
And every time when there is request we can put on, who is doing this most of the time?
Tax the list
from my A-list. I want that, this and this and this. It's just incredible.
Obviously you love it. and
Very much.
so many benefits. I can't believe you've lived here for 8 years and just only now this past year finally got involved.
She's making
with it.
up for it.
But
really
remember,
fast.
at pandemic, it was nothing.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yes. So that took away 2 of the years.
Absolutely.
Well, you also have a great event coming up on New Year's Eve. Tell me about this
Yeah.
event.
So one of the fun things we have is we have a band that's associated with our club. Not exactly connected, but several of the members are in the band. And so the band will be playing live. We have a 7-member band that everybody plays multiple instruments. And we'll be playing the music from all these different countries, from Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Turkey, Western Sahara, Israel, all kinds of places. And so they'll play the music and sing in all those languages while the rest of the group dances.
Oh, how nice.
So, and we will have food and drink and merriment. And so we'd love to have people come out. If you've never tried folk dancing before, come and listen to the music and try it out. We won't have instruction for this party, but I know there are people out there in the village who folk danced in the past. So if you're looking for something to do on the New Year's Eve, come and dance with us.
Oh, sounds very fun. And so you can still get tickets?
You can pay at the door, right? And we're in Clubhouse 7 and 7 to 10 p.m. We're doing what some people call the Chicago New Year's, where it's New Year's at 10 p.m. our time is New Year's in Chicago, so we'll celebrate, hooray, at 10 p.m.
I hadn't heard of that one before. That's so interesting. Yeah, I've always just done either the 9 p.m. in New York or the re-air of the 9 p.m. at midnight.
Bobby, I would like to add that it's not only dancing, we are like big family. We celebrate birthdays and holidays, and people share food and stories and jokes, and it's absolutely incredible.
I love that. And that's what it's all about, that connection, right?
Absolutely.
And it just helps that dancing releases endorphins and makes you feel so good. And so not only are you having the camaraderie, but then you're doing this activity together that is really bonding and fun as well.
And it's good for our bodies and our brains, because you have
Yes.
to memorize, sequences and patterns, and that's one thing that's really good for keeping our brains sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I understand, like, if you're coming to the event, if you're able to bring a treat, sometimes people
Sure.
bring treats to share.
Yes, but it's not required. But you can.
How
Yeah.
fun. And do you get different treats from like different
Sometimes,
cultures, countries?
depending on
Yes, sometimes.
depending
yes.
on who's coming and what they bring.
I bet
Yes.
that's really fun
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Do you ever, when you're teaching the classes or teaching the dances, do you ever discuss, like you were saying about the music from different countries and any of the backgrounds or things like that?
Mostly from in our club we talk about stylistic or technique things. I mean, the club is primarily just for social, fun, recreational, but we'll talk about, what's unique in this particular country. This kind of movement would be typical, and to sort of accentuate how that typical movement is.
Yeah.
It's more that kind of thing. Sometimes a little bit when it would be used, but yeah.
Yeah, well, super interesting to learn all this.
Also in our group, of course, not only people from America, it's from different countries. Like, for example, I came from Lithuania, and my main language is Russian. And of course, I'm very excited when we dance Russian dances, or from Ukraine, from former Soviet Union republics. It's very nice. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our great teachers, Lee, Marcella, Gila, Terry, because their passion and love for dancing make our sessions absolutely perfect.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always incredible when you have great instructors. And so tell me about the club and changes that you have coming in the new year.
Yeah, so in the new year, we're going to have an afternoon dance session, which we've only been dancing in the evening and the morning. The ThisDay group meets in the morning, and then we've been meeting in the evenings. But we're going to try an afternoon on Fridays. So it's going to be in Clubhouse 7, 1:30 to 4. And we know in the village there's tons of dance opportunities. A lot of people dance in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. And so we thought, let's dance in the afternoon and see who else would like to come and join us. Because, international folk dance was huge in the 70s, in the 60s and the 70s. Every college campus had big folk dance clubs. So I know there are people out there in the village who danced as young people in college age. Come remember those great times and join us on Friday afternoon in Clubhouse 7.
How fun.
First step they need to do, come and look, and they will be hooked. I assure you.
You'll be hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, you just got to make that effort and just finally go.
Right.
And it's $7 at the
Yes,
door.
$7 at the door, and there's no series, so you can come. And beginners are welcome. And our format is basically the first hour or so we do easier dances, more teaching, and in the second half we do more complex dances or and less teaching and requests. Yeah. Yeah, so especially new people for sure come at the beginning because we'll be doing more teaching and it'll be more simpler dances.
Awesome. And then you'd mentioned you also there's a sister group that dances on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So if you're enjoying it and you want more, there's other opportunities,
Absolutely.
with the group to keep dancing more. And why not 3 days a week? I mean, they recommend 3 days a week for exercise, right? So what a great way to get your exercise.
It's great for your spirit and health, and when I really believe that dancer is more happier person.
Happier person.
Happier person.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so nice to meet you, ladies. Thank you for coming on and telling us, and good luck with your event.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
If you have any questions or need more information, contact the Laguna International Dancers at lagunadancers@gmail.com or call Marilyn at 949-939-0604. Stay with us. We'll have more of This Day right after this.
Welcome to Harvard Eye Associates. We're focused on your eye care at all 3 of our Orange County locations.
Our new location in Laguna Hills, Orange, and San Clemente.
Each facility features the latest in advanced technology and diagnostic equipment.
And a trusted collection of doctors that care about your vision and your quality of life.
We deliver what matters to you
And your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
Welcome back to This Day. I hope you guys had a great Christmas and New Year's is coming up. So if you don't have plans yet for New Year's Eve, there's still tickets available for New Year's Eve at the Performing Arts Center. It's a night to remember with 5 incredible acts. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. You can purchase tickets at tickets.lagunawoodsvillage.com or directly go to the box office. And now let's take a look again at the weather. Today it is mostly cloudy out there with a high of 65 and a low of 50. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies with a high of 65, low of 49. And on Friday, we'll see a little bit of showers once again on Friday and into Saturday morning. And by Sunday at the end of the weekend, the sun will pop back out once again. And taking a look ahead, tomorrow on This Day, we'll have the 3rd Mutual Update with Jim Cook. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. You can catch This Day again at 12:30 and 5 p.m. or anytime on Village Television's YouTube channel. For This Day, I'm Bobby Higgins. Happy New Year, everyone.
Pet boarding and daycare reimagined in Laguna Woods. Smart Park is offering 1 month of unlimited free daycare to new clients that pass a temperament evaluation. Call today to redeem this offer and get started.